Back to what we were talking about, and we were talking about the laws and how they affect the individual person. Well, California in 2014, their laws affect bicycles. This one doesn't become law until September 16th of 2014. Driving a car or passing too close to a bicyclist could result in a fine for the driver, whether there was a crash or not. Drivers must be at least 3 feet from a cyclist while passing. Well, if they're going to give you a ticket anyhow, make them a speed bump. Who the hell cares? The point is, this is another stupid law. When I was a kid, it was no problem. I mean, it was my responsibility. I grew up in Chicago, and I used to ride my bicycle on the streets, and it was my responsibility to watch out for the vehicles. And I rode as close to parked cars as I possibly could, and they went by, and there were no problems. Now, all of a sudden, here it is, 40, 45, 50 years later, and we have to pass these laws so you can give the bicyclists a wide berth. Well, if we have to do that as automobile operators, then I think you should license people on bicycles and charge them $25 for a 5-year license. You should make them buy license plates for their bicycle at the same rate of about $100 a year. Let's go, people. You want all of these privileges. We end up having it. The motorist is paying for the expansion of bicycle lanes out of their tax dollars, and these meatheads are riding around on their little bicycles, and now we have to watch out for them? Why don't you put a bicycle lane on the tollway? Oh, come on, people. Let's get real here. A little bit of critical thinking, a little bit of truth. Truth is, bicyclists don't pay for a damn thing. All they do is ride their bicycles and piss and moan. They're professional, they're professional victims.
I got nowhere to ride my bicycle.
Go in your backyard, ride around in circles. I really don't care. We have put up bicycle trails. We have put in bicycle lanes on the streets. And now they're coming up with this, you got to give them a wide berth. Only if they got their lard ass on a bike and it happens to be hanging over the 3-foot wide lane that they've got. But if we're going to play the game, let's play the game. Why should people who drive cars, who pay for the upkeep of their automobiles, who happen to turn around and buy license plates for them, and that's another thing too, make them purchase insurance? What if this guy on a bicycle turns into me and puts a big dent in the side of my car? Who the hell's going to pay for that? So let's get right down to the nitty-gritty here. You're going to have to take a class on bicycle safety. That's going to cost you. You are going to have to get a certified bicycle license from the state. You are going to have to buy a license plate at $100 or $150 a year to license your bicycle. You are going to have to carry at least liability insurance to cover other people's property when you happen to ride your bicycle into them. I mean, let's drive up the cost. Oh, yeah, and then on top of that, if you happen to get a license plate, from the state, then it's going to cost you an extra $50 a month to maintain the bicycle lane. If we're going to play these kind of games, let's get right down to the nitty-gritty, and let's stop having everybody else pay for somebody else. And that's exactly what the people are doing. That's exactly what you are doing. You are paying so these people can turn around and say, well, I'm environmentally friendly. I'm environmentally hostile. I want to drive my car, so I pay for it. And those of you who don't think so, driving a car is a privilege. It is not a guaranteed constitutional right. And it's the same thing with bicycles. It's not a guaranteed right. It is a privilege. So why should I pay for your privilege? You want to be environmentally friendly? Hey, that's wonderful. I am so proud of you. You believe, like Al Gore, that there is global warming. So let me give you a pat on the back. Oh, and by the way, here's your bill for all the crap that you got to buy now, so you can be just like car people. Oh, and you got to obey all the rules of the road. So that means when you're riding your bicycle and the light turns red, even though there's no cross traffic, you got to sit there and wait for it to turn green. Otherwise, you're going to get a ticket. And we'll post double signs, like 30 miles an hour for a car, 5-mile-an-hour speed limit for a bicycle. Oh, so you got to put a speedometer on your bicycle. And you have to have lights front and back, turn signals. I mean, let's take this to the nth degree. Why should we have to pay for somebody else? Just like Obamacare. You get to pay for somebody else. You pay, somebody else reaps the benefits. Gee, doesn't that sound like the old Soviet Union? Sure does to me. Everybody in a collective. We have a collective here. We're going to collect all your money, and then we'll spend it the way we want.